because this was the week where Congress grilled the CEO of TikTok, Shou Chu, for 5 hours, or the equivalent of like 150 TikToks. And they are looking to either ban any app or ban the app or force it to sell to an American owner, even though TikTok has already promised that they're moving all their data storage to Oracle. Oracle's going to like be storing it here in the United States, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, this whole hearing was performative as fuck. It was a total charade. Basically, just showing who can be more tough on China vis-a-vis this dude. I realized it was the one clip we don't have.
The guy talking about the Wi-Fi? Yes.
Let me actually bring it up. Give me 2 seconds to bring it up here, because I sent it to you.
Yes.
And you know what, guys? Sometimes we try, but we don't always succeed. I
think. Listen, I'll fill the time. I think there needs to be a little. There needs to be some kind of test before you
become
act in these hearings. Before a congressperson, but like, okay, you want to go to the TikTok conference? First, we need to watch you create an account. We need to see if you understand how to log into the Wi-Fi, double authenticate, whatever. It is so embarrassing. It should be so humiliating to go up there and ask what is in this clip that you're about to ask. You should be so humiliated. You're talking about a banning and a platform for speech. This just
Yeah. First of all, Gianmarco, just for the record, if I had to do that, I would absolutely fail. Like going into TikTok, like I guess I know how to post, kind of, but I'm not good. I'm not good. But anyway, here he is, North Carolina Representative Hudson, asking the CEO of TikTok, are you on my Wi-Fi?
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you can answer that.
Are you hacking my electric toothbrush? It's a simple yes or no question. Do you know that I have a fleshlight that is USB powered? Simple yes or no question.
And the way that they phrase it, he phrases it like so. He's like, so you're saying the TikTok, it connects to my phone number? That's creepy. And it's like, but that's how it all works.
That's how it all works, sadly. I mean, yeah, it's not,
I'd love to see 12-year-olds up there. I think 12-year-olds would be more educated in asking questions about TikTok. Get a bunch of like teens up there.
Oh, yeah. And look, I honestly okay, so you have to point out the difference between this and like some of the other, tech lords that have been, hauled, like Zuckerberg, who has been in front of Congress multiple times, who is so terrible at answering the most basic questions, like, it's sir, he's so nervous and scared and terrible. But like comparing that to this guy, like, he was great. He was like totally held his own, was like really calm, totally batted away all this like xenophobic bullshit when he was asked, like, do you know that the Chinese Communist Party has to take over? And you're like, I'm Singaporean. That's where I live. I live in Singapore. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So there's a lot to this, obviously. Again, I just find it very, Gianmarco, when we are drafted into World War IV, we'll know that the beginning of it was TikTok. That fucking all you wanted was a little life hack or a little milk crate challenge. All you wanted was a little NyQuil chicken, and here suddenly you are fighting on a battlefield for, for meta, for...
Well, that's it's the problem with this whole thing is that, yeah, there's a huge problems with TikTok. I have I have lots of problems with TikTok. As a comedian, I find it overly censorious. It can spread all sorts of misinformation, blah, blah, blah.
You don't make
But
any money from it unless you've got like 2 million followers.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
keep
yeah.
going.
But it's just a matter of like, yeah, it's not worse than these other apps. They're all doing the same thing. So it's just easy in this format to like point out all the problems with TikTok while ignoring how fucked up all the other ones are. And the bottom line of if you get rid of TikTok, you are making these other platforms so fucking powerful. Facebook and Snapchat, I'm sure Snapchat is like, please get rid of TikTok.
Is it still around? I mean, I didn't even know it was still around.
I post my TikToks on Snapchat still. I'm ready. I'm bracing for every app to disappear.
Let's do this. Obviously AOC had a very, very cogent response. And I wanted to just share that and take you through some of her arguments here.
Companies are allowed to collect. Some of the arguments about banning TikTok have come in with respect to discussions around Chinese surveillance and utilization of data that is tracked and the enormous amount of tracking on US citizens and data that is harvested by TikTok. And they say because of this egregious amount of data harvesting, we should ban this app. However, that doesn't really address the core of the issue, which is the fact that major social media companies are allowed to collect troves of deeply personal data about you that you don't know about without really any significant regulation whatsoever.
Or consequences. So she just threw up there. This is her first TikTok, very adorable. Threw up a headline there talking about Facebook settling the Cambridge Analytica lawsuit for like $700 million, which really isn't a lot. But Cambridge Analytica and that whole thing was the reason I just stopped Facebook. Like I didn't shut down my account. No, I'm a coward. But I completely left it. I was like, this is bullshit. This is awful. Like like a Steve Bannon and some dude in the UK like conceived of harvesting all of our data, like creating these psychographs, using it to market basic political campaigns back to us. The shit is responsible for Brexit. The shit is responsible for Donald Trump. Like, fuck this. Fuck, this is terrible. And so I kind of gave it up cold turkey. And what's become of that? What real guarantees have we gotten since then? Like, oh God, I guess we'll tell you, you'll have another window to say, I agree to, if you want to use the app, which is I agree to give, Steve Bannon access to all of my photos or whatever.
They're far too massive. I mean, my complaint with social media, I am a content creator. It's necessary for my work. And some of these companies, they've become so powerful that to use them is entirely necessary. I mean, it's a relief to not have to use them, but for these apps, they're able to ban you. They're able to fuck with your whole thing. They're able to lie to you. And then they have no means of like dealing with any kind of customer service or anything. Yet they're so mammoth and so large. And so like, again, TikTok is a problem, but they're all a problem. And you make the problem worse, I believe, by just getting rid of this one. And you're taking the voice and the ability to amplify away from a younger user base and letting the young people participate in the conversation. You're giving more power to the people who don't know how fucking Wi-Fi works.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a really good point of like, these companies are also like, yeah, you can't get in touch with anyone. You can't talk to anyone if you have an issue. I mean, obviously we know Twitter is run by like, like possums that they're under San Francisco at this point. But if you get your account hacked, you can't get back into it for like weeks. There's no one to talk to.
Oh yeah. I on Facebook personally, I posted a crowd work clip. I'm Jewish, but in the crowd work clip, I said the word Nazi as part of a joke.
Taken
down.
I
got labeled as a domestic terrorist, and I cannot get views on things ever since. And Facebook's a huge arm for promotional tools, so it's like it has real life consequences to my business.
Dude, talk to me. The Bitchuation room. You think I can do fucking anything on anywhere? And to say, obviously, I swear like a sailor, and the show's called The Bitchuation Room. There's no way.
Mean, my podcast, The Cunt Hut, is really, it's just blocked everywhere. It's a nightmare.
Can you have me on that show? Like for real though.
Sure.
Anyway, it's all, again, it's all BS. I wish they would ask these hard questions of everyone. I wish we could actually break up big tech. It's just posturing. They're not going to do anything. I don't think Biden's going to break it up. I don't think they're going to force the sale of it, because they all kind of don't. I mean, at the end of the day, John Marco, don't you feel like you'd be happy if you were Zuckerberg, but also if they can do that to TikTok, they could maybe do that to you. And they might think of like, if no matter what the regulation is, if it's no matter what the impetus, if it's xenophobic or not, if you're forcing big tech to do something that isn't just driven by the market and advertisers, I feel like that doesn't bode well for eventually what they fear, which is the breaking up of their conglomerates.
It's not a bad point. I just don't know. I feel like TikTok gave them all such a big run for their money that they're just like, oh, it's a wounded. They're gazelles, and TikTok is the wounded one, and they're like, great, we will get away.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do